This is lesson 29, multiplying fractions part 1. So there's again, just like normal lessons, 2 parts to this lesson. There is multiplying fractions, which is this part, the second part, which will be the next video. Please do this part, go in and do your lesson practice for this part of the lesson, and then come back, watch part 2, and then go back and do lesson practice for the part 2 questions. So when we're looking at multiplying fractions, it sounds really complicated, but it's actually really simple. You're just multiplying. That's it. Multiply straight across. So for example, one of the most complicated things we're going to look at this lesson is we're going to look at something like this. 1/2 of 3/4. Okay, now normally when you're looking at a fraction of a number, you are doing division. In this case, because you are looking for a fraction of a fraction, you are doing multiplication. The reason is because if I have, let's see, your 3/4. Okay, if I have 3/4 and I'm looking for 1/2 of 3/4, what I need to do is actually make the pieces smaller to be able to find out what 1/2 of 3/4 is. So I need to make more pieces to be able to find out what 1/2 is. Okay, so because of that, it's a fraction of a fraction. The of is multiplication, not division. So we're going to multiply. We have 1/2 multiplied by 3/4. Now, when you're doing multiplication for fractions, it's really straightforward. You just multiply the number beside it. So 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 4 is, not 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Your answer is 3/8. Okay, that's all it is. That's all multiplication of fractions is you just multiply straight across. Okay, so you multiply your numerators and then you multiply your denominators. Let's do another one together. Let's look at 3/4 multiplied by 2/3. Okay, again, all you're going to do is multiply your numerators. 3 times 2 is 6, and then multiply your denominators. 4 times 3 is 12. And I have my new fraction. Okay, so 3/4 times 2/3 is, sorry about that, 6/12. Okay, because 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, let's do another one. Last one for this part, we're going to do a whole number times a fraction. So we're going to have 4 times 2/3. Okay, now when you're having 4 times 2/3, you need to make this 4 wholes, because remember, this is 4 wholes. Now, if we were making one whole that had 4 pieces, it would be this. You have to remember, this isn't 4 wholes, this is 1 whole. Okay, we need to make 4 wholes. How we do that is we do the 4 as the numerator and 1 as the denominator. By making the 1 the denominator, you're saying you have 4 wholes. So 4 wholes times 2/3, you go across and you do your multiplication. Numerators, so 4 times 2, 4 times 2 is 8. Denominators, 1 times 3, 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, and this question is the first question you're going to see on part 2, because this is going to take us into our next portion. So that was part 1, lesson 29, multiplying fractions for course 1.